Give me 1 second. We are live on YouTube again.
Guys.
All right, here we are. Welcome to the Mindscape broadcast. You know
Yes,
where it
we are.
be.
Oh,
we got
yeah,
the M Joker of the G in the house.
Fortunately, Tragic Vision's not here today.
Yeah,
He'll be here eventually.
yeah. Well, he's gonna be busy, so we'll figure that out one of these days. But
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
hell, what episode is this? 2 or 3?
3. This would be episode 3.
We on episode 3, everybody.
Yeah, man. Today's topic is gonna be, what we are calling spring cleaning, because you gotta clear up your mind. You gotta make it nice, clear, concise, positive energies. Spring's out here, and that's when positive comes in, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be good shit. Good shit.
You got to clean that mind out. You know what I'm saying? It's like spring cleaning. The neat and the neater the energy, the neater your piece is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? For some people can live in clutter, but some people can't.
Yep.
The way I look at it, I have to have everything organized in a certain spot so I know where it is. Because if not, I'm just looking for everything. So spring cleaning. I gotta clean my mind out. My mind. One of my things I want to clean my mind out is I'm gonna get me a notebook because they're 50 cents at the store.
Depends on what type of notebook you want, but yeah, they're
just want to write down stuff that I gotta do so I don't keep forgetting. That's one thing I gotta do. I gotta clean that out of my mind. Like, oh, you're gonna remember. See, my mind thinks, oh, you're gonna remember. You're gonna remember. You're gonna remember. You never remember, man. You never remember. You're missing appointments. You're missing events. You're missing all this opportunity just coming at you, and you're just missing it because you don't want to keep track of your days. Like, I don't keep track of days. I don't know what day. I have to ask multiple times throughout the day, what day is it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like when I had a job before and I knew Monday through Friday because I was waiting for that paycheck. So, of course, I counted my goddamn days. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I counted my goddamn days. But like when you're in a situation where you're like, where I'm at, like, you gotta step back and you gotta clean that mind out. Your mind, everyone's mind is built differently. You know what I'm saying? And I believe their mind is the power of everything between your heart and your blood, but the mind controls mentally of everything. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I get it, man.
It's like spaghetti. You know what I'm saying?
Spaghetti code, dude.
You gotta drain that fucking soggy ass water, that boiled ass water. Get rid of that negative juice. Get rid of that negative juice.
Oh man, I like that. I know for me, like as a big gamer, there's spaghetti code where it's like so many, it's something works, but it fucks up something else over there, and you gotta straighten out that spaghetti code 100%, man. Like, you gotta make sure things do the things you want them to do without fucking up other things you want to do. And I honestly, man, I love spaghetti code. It makes shit fucking funny, but I know for me too, I'm also a bit of I would like to call it a bit of a chaos gremlin. Like, over the years, I've become like, no, I want order, I want structure, I want systems. I'm like, nah, I'm a fucking little chaos gremlin. At the end of the day, I operate the best. You will see me perform the absolute best in the worst fucking situations where I'm like, yeah, I got this. Like, that's when I'm like, okay, I got to lock in. If it's, things are organized and kind of cool, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to focus that much. I'm like, nah, I can do this. Like, my eyes closed. It's organized. It's a pattern, like, whatever. But the second you throw in chaos, I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, lock in. Boom. And you see a whole different side of me where, like, yeah, I'm still, pretty goofy and still pretty nonchalant about shit, but I'm like, nah, you can tell there's a different, like, I'm like, I have a target. I have a thing that I need to hit. I have a thing that I'm going for. And you can see, like, oh shit, like he's doing like he's focused up, like, and like you can even see that like when I play certain games where if like I'm getting my fucking ass beat and I'm like, all right, this is fucking pissing me off. Like I will like be like, all right, let me switch characters, let me do this, let me switch this up, and you'll just see me lock in and completely, absolutely go from like, all right, I'm just kind of goofing off, enjoying myself to, all right, fuck this dude in particular, and I'll just start losing it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, I really do thrive in chaos, as weird as it is.
I feel you, bro. I feel you with the chaos, yo. Talk about video games. Why do you think I don't play video games or watch TV? Because I've caused so much damage by breaking those things growing up in my life. Like throwing controllers because I lost at a fucking video game. How many times I broke my TV over a football game? Like that's why I stopped watching football. That's why I stopped playing games. It's like I had to mindscape that out of my mind. It's like, look, it makes you too pissed. You can't play video games. You're a poor sport. So I eliminated those out of my head. It's like it's crazy. It's funny that you said that. It's like, yo,
I know like there's some games where I'm like I can't play, and that's Rainbow Six Siege. Like that game, I can go 0 to 100 of being absolute like chill to immediate rage, and it's literally because of how the game operates. Like a guy sees me through a little fucking hole that's the side of a goddamn bullet, and he fucking killed me from across the map. I'm like, dude, I can't even fucking see you. How the fuck do you see me? And I'm like sitting there like losing my shit. I'm like, I can't play this game. I can't. Like, nah, I get way too fucking competitive, and it's a 0 to 100, and there's no leeway. Like, I'm either absolutely doing the most stupid, mind-numbingly retarded shit and winning, or I get like domed, immediately die, and I'm losing my shit because I'm like, that was bullshit. How the fuck did you see me? Like, no, that's not fair. Well, like, and I do I do the dumbest shit where it's like, okay, you gotta rescue the hostage. I'm playing Fuse. I will just nuke the room. And my friends are like, dude, you're going to kill the hostage. I do it anyways. Doesn't kill the hostage. Killed like 3 people. And I just jump on it and like, what up, bitches? And I kill whoever in my way. And I'm like, yeah, I absolutely saw it. And then the other time is like, I'm playing Fuse. I'm like, get domed. And I'm like, I literally did nothing. I did fucking nothing. I just died on spawn. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, that's bullshit. And, and I'm like, yeah. And it was funny because my friend bought me the game so I would play with them. And I like refused to play the game. And he's like, dude, I bought you the game. Like, come on, play with us. I'm like, I hate that game. The game fucking sucks. It pisses me off. And I get into like a fucking little rage little monster because I get so mad at the game. I'm like, I just can't play it. And like I understood like that was one of the games where I'm like, I physically just should not play. League of Legends is another game where I can be pretty fucking toxic. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I can be I'll sit there and play people all day, and like I'm like I am and I'll like sit there, especially to my friends. I'll be like, I am a savant of the insults. Does mothers know you have an extra chromosome there, Brand? Like I'm sitting there like spitting out insults, like sophisticated insults spelled wrong. So I'm never getting in trouble. I'm never getting chat restricted, never getting banned because nothing's spelt right. So the computer's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. But like the people who read it know what I'm saying. I'm like, no, I'm straight up insulting you on like a whole nother level.
Sign language through the computer.
Pretty much. Like it's like they know what's going on. Like my friend's like, how the hell are you not like banned? How have you not gotten banned? I'm like, you got banned. And like he would sit there. He's like, you are like the most toxic player. I'm like, that is a fucking lie. You got banned. I didn't. Like, shut up. Like, and they're like, oh, I remember that used to make him so mad. Where I'm like, I've never been banned. You were like, ha 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 ha. Despite me constantly flaming everybody and anyone in my path, type of deal. And then on top of that, I'm also like, the characters I play are really obnoxious and really annoying. And I'll sit there and use those characters to like taunt people, to just be an absolute menace. Because I'm like, it's fun. And then, I want them to target me. I want to be that little distraction where I'm like driving people around. They're like so focused on me that my team could just clean them up, hopefully. Yeah. But at the same time, I also know my team's not going to clean up sometimes. So I'm just like, this is not good. But like, that's just the fun of life, man. It's like life itself is a bit of a game where you got to figure out what things, trigger you, what things don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And you work for it. You work towards it. and like you said, that's all about spring cleaning. Like if something is too much, just don't do it. Just like it's the same thing with like any sort of like issues you have, just take it out. Take it out of the equation. If you can remove it completely out of your life, do it. Like why not? Like if it's gonna improve your life, if you realize you're having a bad, like somebody's constantly you know bringing bad energy into your life, block them.
Yeah,
You can sit there and be like, "Well, I don't want to like block them." Like, dude, if they are literally not making your life worse, get rid of them.
you know,
It's not that big of a deal.
yeah, yeah. People gotta realize in life, your biggest disappointment is gonna be yourself, and when you hit the bottom of that point, you know,
Yep.
you're gonna disappoint yourself to the point where you're gonna hit rock bottom. You know, and rock bottom is different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, and you can hit it more than one time. You know, you don't have to hit it once and then you can hit it multiple times. You know, I mean 3 times. You know, it's the situation in your life that you put yourself in. You know, and the people you surround yourself around, and the energy you receive. Like I don't drink. Why? Because that's what caused me to break things. That's what brought my anger in. That's why I couldn't watch football and drink a 30 pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, tell you every commercial is a fucking beer commercial. Of course, you want to drink beer while you're watching the football game. But by halftime, fucking your team's doing, you're about to win and they fuck it up. Dallas Cowboys. I haven't watched these for a while now. And I'm gonna say it, because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I haven't watched in years, bro. You know, um, it's like letting go. You got to let go of bad habits. You got to let go of bad people in your life. You got to let go, let go, let go. You got to let go. And, once you learn to let go of things in life, things start to get a little simpler. You start seeing that puzzle more clear of a picture. I say that a lot because I like to use that analyze the thing about the puzzle. Your life is like a puzzle. You're building a picture, and you chase those dreams. You build the piece by piece. You start with the border. That's the easy part, the border. Now you get into the other part. You got to flip all those pieces around. You got to match colors. Puzzle ain't easy. Not everyone can do a fucking puzzle.
I mean, it depends on the puzzle. Like some puzzles are just like 4 pieces.
If you can do like a 10,000 piece puzzle, then come back to me. I've done a few of them. It took me months and months to do them, but I would put in a few pieces a day to get that shit working.
I mean, speaking of puzzles, like I know for me, I'm like, I don't care much for like those types of puzzles. I'm more of like, those like puzzles where you gotta like move things a certain way, then move other things like those like lock boxes type of thing. I forget what they're called. There's a specific name for the goddamn fucking type of puzzle. I can't think of it, but they're not like the paper puzzle where you put like pieces together. They're like a combined thing, and your objective is to take it all apart and then be able to put it all back together.
Yeah, you're talking about like the movie Saw, where it's like a puzzle to get out.
Is it a jigsaw? Maybe it is a jigsaw puzzle. Let me see.
You know what I'm saying? You're talking about something like that, like where you got to get the key and you need the code, and like.
No, I'm trying to think. Let me think.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what they're fucking called. Like, what are they called? There's a goddamn name for them. I'm gonna lose my shit trying to
imagine being able to build.
Speaking of that, I'm trying to find this on YouTube. Where do I find it?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what the word is, because there's like I don't think it's a jigsaw puzzle, but like they're like they're really like intricate like Chinese puzzle or something like that. Like, and they are like really like they can be really really hard to like solve, and I can't goddamn think of it. I'm gonna like lose my mind. Either way, if anybody in the comments here who's watching this knows this, put that shit in the comments. I don't think it's a jigsaw puzzle, but it might be. I don't think it's a jigsaw puzzle. I can hear what you're watching.
Oh, my bad.
But like
I found the YouTube. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, like, but it's like those like trick boxes type of thing. And though, like that's how I view how I am. It's like I don't look at things like it's like, oh no, this has to be here. You know, you can take it apart, you can put it back together, but it's like three-dimensional. Like I'm like my mind does not think on a 2D space at all. It thinks on like a 40s type of space type
Oh, I
of thing.
feel you. I feel you.
And that's how my mind always operates, where it's like I see probabilities. I understand all that, and like that's just how I look at things. And you know, and the best way to put it is like live through several different possibilities through my head, all in the span of like a couple of seconds. And it allows me to, you know, see a lot of, you know, potential futures, a lot of potential things of like if I do certain things, if I make certain choices, if things turn out a certain way. Like obviously I can't be like, oh, I know every single move. Like I can just say this word and then this will happen. Like, no, it's not that exact, but it's like I know what happens if certain things align. Boom, boom, boom. I can connect all the dots and like work my way
Yeah,
back.
you could make plays ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You know, like chess. You're planning moves ahead.
Honestly, the funniest thing is I don't play, like most people are like, oh, you know, how do you play chess? Like, do you like have certain like moves? Do you know, like, you know, the Queen's Gambit, like this and that? I'm like, no. I don't play chess. I play the person who's playing chess. I understand them psychologically, and then I play towards their weaknesses. That is how I play. I am very much a asshole.
Do you play?
Oh, chess, yeah.
So yo, fuck, we gonna play next time we come over.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I'll have to. I have a chessboard somewhere around here.
I've been playing a lot again.
Yeah, man. Like we definitely got to play. Like I always enjoy playing new people because it's always for me it's the hardest time to play somebody is when I first play them because I don't understand how they play or how they like to operate. Once I understand how you operate, then I start to play my game. I start to like really push pressure, and like that's just how I am. But I'm always at my most guarded the first time. After that first time, I start to like chill out. I'm like, nope, okay, I have a bit of a read on the person, how they play, how they like to play, what you know, where they are, and you know, there are some people who I'm just like, I can't necessarily beat my normal way purely because they're very much a focused on the game, thinking, you know, moves ahead, and I can't like, you know, use their own type of insecurities against them in games. It's like, okay, they're just locked in. I'm like, okay, no, I actually have to like play the game normally to beat you, and I don't like to. I'll be honest, I don't like to do that. I like to play the person more than I like to play the game. I find it more enjoyable to find like, okay, where are their weak points? Where, you know, what are their objectives? Stuff like that, and then, you know, grade them in, trap them, do all sorts of shenanigans.
Yeah,
and like I just find that shit fun. And then, you know, also, you know, if the person's like a younger person, you know, they're like kind of newer, you know, I'll teach them little tricks, teach them little things that, you know, I picked up over the years, you know, like the 3, like, move checkmate. I'll always, you know, do that on people, you know, they're newer, just to see a thing and then ask them like, oh, do you know why that, like how that happened? Like what, you know, that sort of thing. And like, you know, I'll use it more as like a teaching lesson because I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and just kind of shit on a person 24/7. I'm like, nah, I'll give you, you know, some tips, give you some, you know, different ways to look at things, different ways to do that. And it's mainly because I like having a challenge. I like having somebody who I sit there and I'm like, I can't just steamroll. Like steamrolling a person it's boring. Like at the end of the day, it's boring. Like it doesn't stimulate my mind, doesn't make me feel any good. It's just like, okay. It's like being like a 30-year-old man, you're beating up like a 5-year-old. It's not satisfying, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you just kind of look like an asshole. I'm like, no, I want a challenge. I want someone who's going to challenge me. And I've had, you know, over my time playing chess, I've had plenty of people who have challenged me. I've even had people, you know, where I've let my guard down completely. I didn't take it seriously. And then I was like, oh shit, I really backed myself in the corner. And I'm like, okay, now I got to lock in. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. And it's purely because it's like I feel like mentally I just did that, and I'm like, it's a challenge having to try to catch back up because it's like, oh shit, I really just kind of tuned out everything, and now it's like, okay, now I really gotta like, now I'm only stuck with like a couple of pieces, you know, a couple pawns, maybe like a rook or a bishop, and your king, and you're like, I lost my queen, I lost that. They still have their queen, they still have, you know, like 2 rooks, a bishop, and a knight. I'm like, they have, you know, a decent amount of pawns. I'm like, okay, how am I going to get myself out of this fucking pickle? And I think that's fun. I find that some of the funnest time I have in chess. And it's like, yeah, I put myself in the back foot, but everybody loves an underdog story, man. Everybody loves an underdog story. And like, that's just, but we definitely got to play chess, man. Like, next time I come over, we are playing chess. Like I said, I'll look for my my chessboard, and yeah,
I'm gonna order me a nice chessboard again. I like that. I had a nice one, but I brought it to the studio, and the studio kind of took over it because we play chess every day there. You know, like
I know exactly what you mean, man.
It's the heavy bread. It's the pieces are like iron.
Ooh, that's nice.
Iron. So they're nice.
Yeah, that's honestly sounds like fucking phenomenal, dude. Damn. That sounds nice.
Yeah, it comes with a nice case. I love it.
Yeah, man.
But so here, so I was thinking, so like, you know, mindscaping, you know, we're spring cleaning our minds, you know, so like, you know, I want to discuss a few things I'll be doing, you know, and maybe people can relate, you know. You know, it's one thing is, you know, after being coped up in our house all winter long, a lot of us mentally, we need to get outside and get some sun. We all need to get outside, you know. We need to get some sun and get that air, you know. It's like get out of that hibernation. It's good. I admit hibernation is good for some point, you know, but that's when you're healing from other, you know. But so I'm gonna get outside a lot more. I'm gonna exercise the hell. I'm planning on losing 100 pounds for next year when we have an episode 69 or whatever. 70. I'll be 100 pounds thinner, looking like Jelly Roll, you know, like you know, but like you know, I'm eliminating my junk food because I gotta start focusing on my diabetes. You know, it's not chocolate, you know,
Hey, Soren.
What up, Soren? But yeah. So another thing I was thinking of was maybe relocate.
Oh, nice. Where are you thinking of relocating to?
East Bloomfield.
Oh, it'll be a little bit farther away though.
Yeah, but like, you know, sometimes just changing the air around you a little bit can help you mentally and help you physically. You know, like, you know, people ain't meant to be in your life forever.
Hey, that's true.
And you know, sometimes it's just a pit stop, and they can be your best friends, but they're not, you know, they're not going to be there forever. You know, you know, I don't know, like spring cleaning. I want people to write in the comments what's some spring cleaning they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, help people out. You know, fucking. What else can you do? Like, I want to. One of these subjects we're gonna be like, you know, because I always wanted to get back into playing video games. So like, I want to do a subject about that because like I know what it's like for people to be into video games and being on a different world because that world's just better than the world they're living in. Because you got control of it. You get what I'm saying? You have control of the foundation. You got control of your people in the video game.
I mean, I always say with video games, a lot of like as someone who's a big avid gamer, it's more that it doesn't impact you like in the real world. Like you can fuck up, and if you fuck up, okay, well you respawn. Like there's not a penalty for fucking up. While like in the real world, you know, we're raised like through school, you know, getting bad grades, you know, your parents are gonna be pissed. You might get held back a year. Like there's a lot of consequences to messing up. So a lot of people grow that fear of
yeah. Well, go ahead, keep talking.
So like they grow a lot of fear of like messing up, a lot of fear of you know, failure, and that gets ingrained like at a fundamental level, and that same fear, you know, can compound, especially You know, if you're coming out like say a bad relationship, you can start to fear being in a new relationship. You can start to generate a lot of social anxiety from that sort of like fear of failure, feel of, you know, coming off different, feel of like, oh, I had to like be one with the herd. And like I can say I've even suffered from that type of shit where it's like I know for a fact, like, yeah, I'm a very resilient type person. I'm a very like what you call it, like rebellious by nature. And you know, a lot of things I do, especially like at my, you know, like I said, I mentioned before, like the way my empath works is it reflects things. I don't necessarily absorb it. I can, you know, it goes through me and passes through me and gets reflected. So it's like in certain environments, I act a certain way. And, you know, some people might say, you know, it seems like you're confrontational. It's like, no, dude, I just reflect a lot of things back at people. And like somebody's, you know, being combative, like I can be combative, but most of the time it's usually like I'm not taking it, like I don't look at it as like it's that serious, like I'm just joking around. Like that's how my mind processes it. It's like it's a joke, blah blah blah. Like I don't, like, you know, I don't process it as like, oh, how dare you like insult me. I'm like, nah, I'm just joking around. Like, and even like some people, you know, they'll bring up like serious topics. And I'm the one who's like sitting there joking about making all sorts of jokes, and like people are sitting there like, why the fuck is this guy like laughing? It's like a funeral. I'll be like dying laughing at like a fucking funeral because somebody will have said like something that just like, I don't know. It's like, to me, it's like, it's almost like I'll hear somebody say something at a funeral and I'll be like, that's bullshit. And I'll start fucking laughing my ass off because I'm like, this guy doesn't, like, they aren't meaning what they say. And like, I know one of my close childhood friends, he killed himself back in like 2012, 2013, somewhere around that time. And it was literally like, we literally stopped like a month before he killed himself. And literally, like, you know, they had like a big thing. A bunch of people from like school went to like his funeral. And this is the saddest part, is the people who were closest to him, none of us went. Like, we were all so destroyed by losing our friend that none of us went. Like, we couldn't. It was like we couldn't bear to go and be surrounded by people who were like, oh, we're friends. We're like, no, like, we couldn't, like, we couldn't be surrounded by all that fakeness. And like we all so low-key blamed ourselves. Like, how did we not see this shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, we literally saw him a month ago, and then this shit happened. And like,
I feel that, bro. Like,
yeah,
I don't even go to funerals anymore in my life.
Well, and like, to me, it's like from like I sat there, and like even looking back at it, I'm like, he was like one of my closest friends, who for years. And to this day, I still look back at it. I'm like, I still remember the last time I saw him. It was at my friend's house. We were having this big ice skating party. And we were down in his basement throwing darts, joking around, just not caring, you know, just having, you know, making jokes. And, you know, things seemed off. Like, I'm like, I felt there was something off, and I didn't pursue it. I didn't do nothing. And I look at that, I'm like, I feel like I failed as a friend. And I know damn well I didn't. It wasn't my fault, you know, and that's just the pain that, you know, I got to deal with. It's, you know, there's nothing I could have done either, even if I, you know, saw things coming. Like, that's just how that stuff works. So it's like you could do all the right things and still the same outcome could have come, because it's not something you did or didn't do. It's something, you know, they chose themselves. Yeah. And you can't fix something if, you know, that somebody else's, you know, choice. And that's something, you know, I've been learning to accept over the years. It's like, yeah, shit happens, and I can only control so much. And like, even now where I'm like, I want to live my life, even if, you know, people, you know, look at me differently, even if people like are like, oh, you know, you hurt me, oh, you betrayed me, or you did this, blah, 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 oh, you changed. I'm like, yeah, I changed because I want to be better. I changed because I want to be able to look in the mirror at the end of the day and say, yeah, I'm happy with I am, because I understand, like, I can lose every single thing in my life, and the last thing you're going to be stuck with is yourself.
Yeah. And that's one thing everyone's scared to be by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you got no choice to be by yourself.
Yeah, man. And like, that's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I want to be able to live with myself. I want to be at death's door and death be like, so what, you know, how do you feel you lived? I lived a full life. well, you're alone. There's nobody in your circle. There's nobody around you. You died alone. Isn't that lonely? No, because I have myself. I have myself and I'm full. Yeah, I gave up everything. I sacrificed everything in pursuit of this. But to be whole, I'm willing to make that. I'm willing to make those sacrifices. I asked myself I even made like a little Snapchat earlier today where I'm like, yeah, I want to be able to look back, even if I have nothing in my hands, everything crumbles to dust. I can still say, yeah, I feel full, no matter what's around me, no matter what it is, because at the end of the day, the only thing you keep is you. You will live with yourself. You will die with yourself. You will pass on to the next life with yourself. You will go to heaven, hell, whatever you believe in, with yourself. There is nothing else but yourself at the end of the day. And that's what you got to learn to accept. And I know even like in like Buddhist traditions, like my mom, she went to like a big what was it, a Shaolin like cleansing thing in like Auburn, Amherst or something. And like the entire sermon was how life is impermanent, where things are meant to disappear. You can't just hold on to everything and nothing change. Like life is changing, things grow, things move, things this, things that. And it's like, yeah, that's where I want to be, where I'm always going forward. Even when I'm at my lowest point where I'm like shit's hitting the fan and I'm like sitting there, I'm still going to keep moving. Like I'm like, life doesn't stop. Why the fuck am I going to stop? And that's where where I've been spending my spring cleaning is, yeah, I'll make hard choices. There'll be repercussions out, I'll feel pain and this and that. And I'm just going to keep saying, even through the fire, I'm still going to keep taking that step forward. I don't care what my feet feel like. I don't care what, my mind's, what everything is telling me. I don't care what other people are saying, where they're like, yo, you should stop. You should take a break. And it's like, life's not going to stop just because I need a break. Oh, I'm like, no, I have a goal. I have a purpose. I'm going to keep fucking going. I don't need to stop. I don't need to be like, oh, this doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and, not want people to join me. It's like, no, I've always been the person where I'm like, I always will be there and say, I don't care how far ahead I am with someone. I'll always look at it and be like, you can do the same exact shit. You are not any less than I am. Honestly, I'd always argue I am not that great. I'm really not. I joke around and be like, yeah, I'm a god. I'm like this and that. Look how fantastic I am. And I joke around about that because it's nonsense. I'm like, no, I'm not really anything special. I'm just willing to keep going where everybody else stops. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fail. I already know that. It fucking sucks to fail. Like having conversations with people that are, are hard. Yeah, it's going to suck. I've even started having conversations with like a girl I've been talking to, and I'm willing to throw things out there. I'm willing to say the shit that I'm like, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to say shit. Like, obviously I'm not going to like do it in like an assholey way or anything. I'm like, no, okay, I'll try to be a bit more gentler than I used to be, especially like growing up. I used to just be fucking blunt where if somebody's doing something stupid, I'll be like, you are stupid. Like you are like stupid with a capital ST, stupid. And, that's what I was. Like I just say straight, no bullshit. And people don't like that, obviously. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to dial it back, still say what needs to be said, but try not to do it in such a mean manner. So that way it's not taken out of context or, people take it the wrong way. Where I'm like, they can still take it the wrong way, but I'm like, I'm working on not coming off as people would like to say, oh, you're so judgmental. It's like, I'm not though. I'm really not judging you. Like I went through that same shit. There's a reason I'm talking about it. It's because I've gone through it. And I think that's the thing people forget.
There's nothing wrong with, definitely you say you're talking in a relationship. You want everything out right away because you don't want to fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, how do you say? You just come out blunt and just tell them everything, and you say, hold back. Like, yeah, it's, holding back, I get what you're saying too, because you don't want to put too much on them and then make them feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This relationships, this is scary. Speaking of relationships, Joe, I think I'm about to be in one.
Hey man, I mean, you and this girl, like I said, I have been so like.
I don't want to say a name yet, but
I was always like, yo, dude, just when are you guys gonna actually like be a thing? Because you low-key already kind of are. You've already been like a thing. You're just kind of like, oh, do we take that step? Like, I'm like, you're tiptoeing around shit, dude. Like, just fucking just be like, stop pretending it's something it is, and just say what it is. It's you guys are in a relationship, plain and simple. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't sit here and be like, well, we're not really. Shut the fuck up. Like, nah, you are. Like, stop. I've seen that shit. You can just not say it. I'm seeing it. I'm just like, I'll let you decide when you want to say it. But I'm like, it's been that way for a while, man.
Yeah, but it's scary, yo, because it's like, that was one of the things I had to let go for one point in my life. But like, it takes time to fix it and refocus. So like I've stayed single now for about 5 years, and I spent that 5 years to find myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't focus on relationships. I didn't focus on people. I wasn't even focused on women. I wasn't focused on anything but what I wanted to do, what I wanted to do. And I wake up when I wake up. Like I focus on that. Yeah, I had the option to do that. Not everyone has the option to do that because they gotta work. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have the option just to do whatever you want every day. But like now that I have that option, it made it easier for me to find myself. That's one thing that people need in this world is we just need to breathe, and people forget to breathe sometimes. In any situation. I was doing some breathing outside earlier. I was sitting on the porch meditating, and I was listening to some flutes and some drums, and I was doing breathing exercises. And it really helped me physically and mentally. It helped me with pain in my body. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't need to take pills all the time to fix my boo-boos. I don't need to take medicine. Sometimes it's just little things you can do for yourself to feel better.
Absolutely, man. And that's where my mind is like right now, where I'm someone where I like to work several angles at once. Where it's like, I'm working on my YouTube, I'm working, on my job, I'm working on, stuff in myself. And then I'm like, I would like a relationship, but it's not my number one priority. I'm not sitting there like, I need a relationship. I need something. It's like, no, I want to have a strong foundation. I want to have a strong area, and that can, be like, okay, it can transition, but I'm not necessarily like it needs to happen right this second. I'm like, no, I'm willing to take the time to set the foundation, but I'm also not gonna sit there and twiddle my thumbs and be like, okay, well let's tiptoe around here, let's tiptoe around there. It's like, no, I've gotten to a point where like I'm like, no, I'm just gonna say shit straight out. If the person doesn't like it, it implodes, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It just wasn't meant to be. And I don't look at it as like, oh well, you're being too harsh. It's like, no, I'm doing things in a way that will push things forward, but I also understand that like not everybody's gonna take it the same way, where some people just aren't ready, and that's okay. I'm not like, I've gone through different sort of things in my life, and I was even talking to one of my clients where I'm like, yeah, I see things like in this type of way, and he's just like, you see things in a way that could be ahead of the person. You've gone through a struggle that somebody else is going through, and you could simply tell them all the right things that all the things they need to do, and if they're not ready for it, they're gonna they're gonna kick back. They're gonna come back, and they're gonna feel threatened by it. They're gonna not feel this, and it's like, it's not a me thing. It's kind of a them thing, and I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, oh well, let me apologize for this. Like, no, I'm not gonna necessarily apologize. I'm gonna be like, no, this is what you need to do. I'm not gonna apologize for helping you, but at the same time, I also know I can't push super hard either. It's like, you gotta find an okay balance. And I've also been the type of person, even like with my ex, I've never like, even when she would say things that were like insulting and like trying to insult my character and like stuff like that, trying to discredit me, I never once looked at it where I'm like, I'm gonna insult you back, or I'm gonna be like, you're so immature, like, oh my god, you just like, no, like, I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. Like, I don't need to tear you down to feel like, to feel strong. I'm like, no, that's just not how I operate. I don't care to tear people down. For me, I want to build people up. Like, even like I met this one guy and, we became friends on Facebook, and we have nice fucking conversations. I want to get to meet, I want to meet the guy in person one of these days. We got to plan something out that will work. But like, this guy he's just a nice dude, and we're both chill. Like, I have no any like bad will for him. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm like, I want to like be, I want to work on like singing songs. I want to do this. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, absolutely. He's like, I've been teaching myself to write my left hand. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, teach it, and like, we just hype each other up. Where he's talking about this, he's talking about like the things he enjoys, stuff like that. He was telling me, he just got to like 2K subscribers in YouTube, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, that's the shit. And it's like, he's doing better on YouTube than I am. Now, I look at it as like a smaller man will sit there and be jealous and be like, how dare you? Like, well, I don't care how well you're doing on YouTube. Like, we'll take that as like a threat. I'm like, no, dude, I don't see that as a threat. I don't look at other people's success, other people's growth as a threat to myself. I see it as that's their journey. I'm on my journey. They can intersect, but just because they're doing good doesn't mean I'm doing bad. And that's also like how I look at it, like in the work world too. I see so many people in the work thing where they'll tear down their employees. They'll, do things to keep them down. I'm like, that's not a leader. That's a boss. A boss is someone who's going to like do all these sorts of things. A leader is someone who's going to like teach you the ins and outs, groom you to be better than them. I always look at it as the best way to like see a person's characters. Are they somebody who is willing to grow you to replace them, or are they somebody who's going to tear you down so you never can outpace them? That's the difference between a leader and a boss. I'm like, I want to be a leader. At the end of the day, I want to see a person exceed me every single step of the way. And that's how I've always been. I've never once been someone who's like, I think you suck. Even with me and my brother, he was someone who I had like a deep insecurity about, but I never once wished him to fail. Every single time, even when we were competing against things, I never wished him to fail. Like, he was like, yeah, I want to start a rapping career. And I'm sitting there like, you're not going to be able to do it. And it wasn't because, I think he can't do it. It's he doesn't have the strength of will to pursue it in the way that's necessary. And then when he showed promise, he met one of my friends, Avery, on the beats. Absolute fucking legend. This kid is absolutely cracked. Yeah. And I was, I set up a bunch of things for my brother for his birthday to, set up a recording, because my brother was like, yeah, he made me like set my game. I'm like, that's what I want. And now, mind you, we made a bet that I'm like, you're going to fail this. And, I think we bet like a couple $100 on it. I'm like, you're going to fail. Like, you're not going to succeed. And that was what I bet. Well, I'm like, low-key, I want you to succeed because you'll move out. But I also understand that you're not going to, because you don't have the motivation. You don't have the people around you are more like just yes men and kind of party people who really don't care if you win or succeed. They just kind of want to be there for the ride. Yeah. And but when he met up with Avery, I'm like, yeah, I set up, like I said, I set up a whole thing for his birthday. My brother blew him off. Fucking pissed me off. Like, it made me so mad. Because like I called him like a personal favor to set up that time to get him that thing, and he blew him off. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I in a sense took up my neck. And like I said, I had no investment. Like, my investment was like, I would be losing my bet if he kept going with Avery. Like, if he stayed with Avery, I guarantee you he would have been in such a different place, like in that type of space. But because he didn't, he chose to sit with, this makes me feel comfortable and stuff like that. These guys are like my friends. I'm like, they aren't your fucking friends. Like, nowadays, I'm like, where are they now? Like, where are the guys you were hanging out with now? They're fucking nowhere to be seen because they didn't fucking care about you. And that was something I noticed right off the bat. And like I said, I never wished him to fail. I just knew how he was and what he was surrounding himself with. He was setting himself up to fail. And then, like I said, I put out my neck to, in a sense, set him up for success, and he just didn't take it. And that's what pissed me off, where it's like, I don't get mad at people for failing. I get mad at people for constantly throwing away their potential for short validation, small little wins, and small little things that make them feel good, where it's like, it feels good now, but it's not is that really what you want? Do you want a little like fix here and there, or do you want something that's sustainable? Like, yeah, you got to put in effort, but do you want to be sustainable? And that's the type of person I am. I'm building what I'm doing now to sustain. I'm like, I know it's going to be slow. I know it's a grind. It's going to be things. I'm going to have to learn a lot of things as I go, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of, yes, I have to become more me. I have to learn what things, trigger me. I have to understand why these things trigger me and just keep going in spite of that. Like, I'm not stopping. Like, okay, this thing pissed me off. So what? Keep going. This thing, I feel depressed today. Cool. Keep going. I don't feel like getting out of bed today. Good. Get out of bed and keep going. Like, that is purely the mentality I'm having right now. Is I don't care what type of shit hits me. Oh, okay. You just had a death in the family. Yeah, that sucks. Keep going. Like, like that's my pure focus is what is going to stop me? Nothing. I don't care. It's like you get hospitalized. Okay, can I set things up where I don't have to worry if I'm not there to be present for a short period of time? Okay, set things up, put yourself ahead of schedule, and then see what you can do on top of that. How can you be more efficient? How can you do this? Like, that is purely where I am. Like, even one of my friends, who's my coach friend, he made a whole list of like, here's some things, to target. Here's what your objectives are. Here's how you do it. He made a whole detailed thing. I'm like, I'm just going to stick to it. I'm not going to complicate the fucking process he made. I'm going to fucking stick to it. Because why? If he put that much time and effort into it, and he makes millions of dollars, he does all sorts of successful stuff. Why would I think I'm smarter than him? I'm sorry, but I'm fucking not, Like, I have to know where I'm at, where somebody else is at. If somebody's up, further than I am, and they're willing to extend me a hand, why the fuck would I not take it? Right?
Yeah. Right.
And that's like the thing I've noticed a lot. It was like, a lot of people, I grew up where people be like, you got a fucking ego. You're like, you come off a bit of like a narcissist. I'm like, yeah, it's more for fun and games. Like, I think it's just kind of funny to like sit there and flaunt, like a God complex. I think it's kind of funny. So I do it more as like, for me, it's like satire. Now, of course, with certain friendships, it's a little bit more real because it's like they have low self-esteem. So almost to like show them a reflection of themselves, I will have such an overinflated self-esteem to like be like, you need more self-esteem, but also don't get it like, keep it, tame. And that's just how I am. Like, it's probably why a lot of my friends are like, you come off a bit like a kind of like an asshole and a bit of like a narcissist. I'm like, I'm not a narcissist. I know that much. Plain and simple. I just think it's fucking funny to play into the villain role sometimes, and like, I grew up with that mindset of like, yeah, I could be a villain. And even like looking at myself now, I'm like, yeah, a lot of the things I do is more darker in nature. I'm not gonna like fuck over somebody. Like, I'm not like simply like, oh, like even the way I view sins, I'm like, I don't view sins as like these big evil things. I'm like, no, I learned to utilize them in ways to push me forward. Like, my greed is I don't want to take from others. I want to grow something that's purely mine. And I understand that, like, yeah, there are things that I'm going to lose along the way. I'm willing to lose certain things to gain other things that I find more valuable. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice some relationships if it means I'm improving myself. Fuck it. I'm going to be stuck with myself for the rest of my life. If the relationship can't handle it, it can't handle it. I want to be, I want to grow, and I want to grow with somebody. But at the same time, if the person's not willing to grow, the person's not willing to do that, not willing to, do the same things. Cool. All right. I don't need you. I can let you go and just keep moving. But I'm, right. And like, that's one of the things, like, too, like I said, with like the relationship that I've been talking about. I'm setting the standard where I'm like, this is what I want. This is where I'm putting the boundary. I'm like, this is what I am looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for the perfect person. I don't need a person to sit there and be like, look at me, I'm so happy-go-lucky, happy, hunky-dory. I'm like, no, I want real. Like, I want you, like, if you're fucking mad, I want you to be mad. If you're, depressed, be depressed. I want you to just be you. I want you to say things, I want you to say what you desire. I want you to say what you think. I've even been teaching myself, like, I want to say more of what I desire. I desire to have a connection that feels completely real. Like, I understand I overthink the shit out of everything. That is my flaw that I have. I understand I also can turn off my emotions. Most people say, being detached, that's bad. That's a really big bad thing. I'm like, I don't detach because I can't handle a situation. I detach to better optimize the situation. There is a very big difference. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, where they're like, no, mostly detaching from things, it's just automatically bad. It's like, no, it's the same thing with like how I view sins. I'm like, I can be a prideful person. I use that as fuel to push myself forward. I use it as self-confidence, never to put others people down, but to push myself up through understanding this is who I am. I am proud to be who I am, and I am certain in what I am. And that will push me forward far further than somebody, pulling somebody down to, stand on them. I'm like, no, I don't need to stand on a throne of corpses, dude. Like, no, I want to stand on a throne in a castle full of people with me. That's the goal. Like, that is where my greed is. My greed is I want to build something real. I may not have the biggest castle. I may not have the biggest land. I may not have the biggest throne or this or that, but it's mine. And it's something that people can, will also be able to inhabit, where I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And like, that's just how I view all that type of stuff. And I understand my perspective is far different than what most people see. They see things like greed. Oh, you're going to do everything you can to, make money, to do this, to do that. I'm like, no. Those are people who don't understand how to operate with greed. Those are people who are consumed by greed. Like, there's a difference between operating with a sin and simply being consumed by it. If you learn to operate with it, you learn to invest it. It's the same thing with Carl Jung's psychology. He talks about the shadow, shadow work, and learning how to integrate. Like, just because things are said to be bad doesn't mean they're bad. Like, you're gonna have things that are good, you're gonna have qualities that are bad, but you need to learn to optimize it. Like, my dyslexia has been something that I, at a young age, sucked. Like, I couldn't write, I could barely, read, talking, saying my S's. I had a lot of issues. And I didn't get help. Like, my parents didn't send me to like a special school to help me, with that type of disability. Like, they helped my brother. They sent my brother to a private school for his ADHD to try to make lessen the weight of that. Didn't work, mind you, just because of how he is. I didn't get any of those special treatment. I had to simply be like, okay, I need to use my strength of will to figure out a way to work with it rather than constantly try to fight it. Because if I try to fight it, it does not work. So I simply said, okay, what are the parameters that optimize how that works? And I learned, okay, I can focus up and, force it for about 5 to 10 minutes. After the 5 to 10 minutes, I need to take a break. I need to do something else that doesn't involve any of that shit. Because I just need to, I have a cool down period. I also realized the more you invest me into certain things, the more I'm willing to, go. And I also realized, like, hey, if reading's hard for me, audiobooks, I can find other ways to do that. If spelling's hard for me, okay, I can rely on, autocorrect or something like that. I can use voice to text. I also know, like, my mind runs a lot faster than my mouth. So I will be thinking of like 7 things ahead of what I'm saying. And I have to be like, okay, slow down. You need to consciously slow yourself down. And these are all things I had to learn through trial by fire. And let me tell you, it was fucking hard to, learn that shit. But here we are. I feel more like me than I have since far as I can remember, Don't mean to talk like your ear off.
Nah, bro, you were on a roll, When you're on a roll, you just gotta let it out.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, I'll pass the mic over to you. What's got on your mind? I know we're talking about spring cleaning, so yeah. I want to hear more about your workout goals. Losing that 100 pounds. What's your plan for that? I want to hear that. Like, come on.
Well, definitely dieting. I got to change my diet around. Start eating right. And get more physical outside. My body's still hurting from hibernating. Got to stretch. And Like I said, I'm stay focused. I'm gonna stay focused. Look, I'm gonna look high and always keep going high. I'm gonna say, I'm done looking down on the ground. I'm done.
Yeah, man. I mean, like
No
I
more,
said,
no more holding me back.
fuck yeah, dude. Like I said, I'm always gonna be there. I'm always gonna champion you, dude. Like, and I know with like the workout stuff, if you need any, any suggestions there, I can tell you what it is that I do. I'm more than obviously, and if you ever want to hit the gym, like because I go to Planet Fitness, um, let me know, dude. Because I have a black card, so I can bring my friends along with me and shit.
Sweet.
Yeah. So like I said, if you want to do that, like maybe like once, twice a week, just let me know. I usually go around like 9 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. If you want to go on like the weekend or something, just let me know if I'm not like working. We could definitely hit the gym together, stuff like that. Get you in there. Like I see plenty of guys who, like there's one guy who I see every single time I go there. He's a bigger fellow, and like I see him every single time. I'm just like, dude, this guy's he's got it. Like, good for him. Like, and that's my immediate reaction is like, good for this dude. Like he's putting in the work, he's putting in the reps, and I'm like, that's just good. Like that's impressive. And he just goes along. Like I'm like, I never see him with anyone. He just does it himself, and I'm like, that takes balls.
Well, yeah. How long is this episode?
I don't even fucking know, dude. It's been a hot minute. I want to say. I don't have any way to like. Oh, it's almost been an hour. Okay, I see the timer. All right. Well, yeah, man.
Well, I got to start getting ready for my adventures for the next few days.
All right.
I'm gonna take off. And be MIA for a few days.
Man.
My hideaway.
Yeah. Oh, I will say if you like I know one thing definitely, to change is like what you drink. I know I've been drinking these waters from like Big Y. You can get like 6 cases for like $3. And it's like flavored water. It's good. Like that's what I've been drinking just because I'm like, I'm not gonna drink normal water. I just know that shit. So I get like these flavored waters and like I get a whole like fucking pack of them. And they last me like a week or two, and it's $3. It's $3 for 3. Like fuck yeah, dude. You get what 8? You get 18. I'm like that's pretty solid. And I've cut back on my soda intake where it's like I literally bought like 2 12-pack, like I want to say not last month but like the end of the month before. I have one left and it just sits there. I'm like, I could have it with a steak. I could have it with some potatoes. It's just sitting there. And I'm just like, I don't really feel want for it. I just don't. Like, I don't even put any sugar in my tea anymore. I just cut out sugars entirely as much as possible at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel great, dude. Like, and I think that's what you should focus on is what type of like sugars can you cut out now or reduce and start doing that, man. Like I would say that's number one. I would say, if you want to put a diet, like you don't have to like be like, oh well, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna eat like, like lettuce, I'm gonna have salad, stuff like that. It's like just cut out some sugars. That's what you should prioritize first, cutting out sugars. Taking walks, doing a little bit more exercise, occasionally going to the gym if you can. Those simple little changes that will change because they don't require a whole lot of change. It's just what can I give up that I don't feel I need, and what things can I add that can make me feel a little bit more active. And I guarantee you'll lose. Like I know one of my friends, he was literally talking about yesterday. How he's been fasting for like 4 days. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, yeah, I've lost like 10 pounds this week, and I'm like, dude's just fucking going ham. And he's like, yeah, I don't feel like hungry. I don't feel like a desire to eat anything. I'm just like, this guy's going in, but like, I'm like, I wouldn't do that shit. Like, no, I like food a little bit too much to be able to fast myself. Where I'm like, no, I'm a snacky person where I get hungry way too often. I'm like, nah, it's just not gonna work. So, I do that. I meal prep. I try to station certain things out.
That's what I gotta do. Meal prep.
Yeah, and I also know too is like with my work, because I work so much, like I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and be like, well, I'm kind of bored. I'm gonna eat something, or I'm gonna have like a snack here. It's like, no, like I could be driving and be like, I could stop at like a gas station to pick up food. I'm like, no, it's a fucking waste of money. I'm not doing that. So I don't. And I'm like, I'll go hungry the whole day until like I get my little lunch break around like 3:34 most days. And then I'll eat something. Sometimes my clients will, give me something, be like, yeah, have some food. I'm like, okay, cool. But like, I never go out of my way to like pick up a snack anymore. Like I'll do it maybe once in a while. And even then it's like, it's very like mundane snack. And it's like, it has to be on sale. If it's not on sale, I'm not doing shit. And that's like, yeah. But like I said, that's my recommendation. Just cut out sugars.
Well,
And then honestly, it sounds like, as you said, you're diabetic, so probably cutting out sugar is probably a lot more beneficial than it is just for me.
well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn this whole diabetic crap out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I think I feel like this whole spring cleaning thing was actually pretty good, man. Like this is a really good topic.
Yeah, I like
Even though I know we probably got off topic a little bit.
Yeah, but that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good topic, and I'm ready for the next one, and hopefully we'll have tragic visions too.
Oh yeah, like I next time we do this, I'm gonna like make sure we get him on here because, like I said, I wanted to get him on here today, but I needed a little nap.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
But all right, man. I think we should probably end it off here.
All right, peace, love, and happiness.
All right, always remember, everybody, never change, only evolve.
I love my escape.
Yeah, man.